get ready for a fun model railroad layout. We've got Route 66 for you. And as you can see, just coming downstairs, we'll get this started. So let's ring the bell for the mother road. And as we're coming down, you'll see all kinds of train memorabilia. And of course, we're going to the trains. So we'll meet, there's your locomotive outfit. We'll see the two people responsible for this, the builder and the owner, John Rue. Gentlemen, good to see you.
Good to see you.
How are you?
Good to see you.
Good. So John, tell me, you are the owner, and tell me who you have with us.
This is Mike Erzen. Everything you see here is a byproduct of what Mike has helped design, create, and maintain.
Beautiful. John, how long have you had this layout?
Approximately 25 years.
25 years. And we're going to find out why you started that layout. Matter of fact, let's go right to the person who got that. Tell me who that is right there.
There's three things here on this layout, Lou. Trains, testimonial Route 66, and memorial to my grandfather, John T. Rue, who was the bartender on a famous bar car called the Little Nugget that went from LA to Chicago.
So there he is right there. And what a great memorial to him. There he is with the big smile. So we start right in Chicago, right? So
right. Route 66 normally is, Chicago to LA, and it starts at the Art Institute, at the Buckingham Fountain over there, which
nice.
Mike created that simulation and here began Route 66, and this is a silhouette of the sunrise and the sunset
nice.
Of downtown Chicago.
Beautiful.
And the detail, there's Berghoff's restaurants, there's Lou Mitchell's, there's the Art Institute, today's start of Route 66, the new start. Along Ogden Avenue, some of the things that are there, you go up to Berwyn, you end up in, you're going on it, you're up in Delray's Chicken Basket, famous Route 66 place.
White Fence
Farm. It parallels a lot at this time the I&M Canal. Joliet, the Blues Brothers, there's the Joliet Prison.
Oh yeah, Jake and Al White, sure.
Famous Rialto Theater in downtown in Joliet. You have these grasslands out here, the largest stand of grasslands east of the Mississippi. And then Mike has created details of what you see, like there's a farm that Mike created from a map. Mike, why don't you tell them how you did that?
Well, the farm is a combination of handmade models and some off-the-shelf things, but also the farm cornfield there is actually a welcome mat that was spray painted and cut down to make it look like it's a new stand of corn.
Yeah.
The crop duster over there.
That's great.
And Mike detailed, this is small towns along Route 66, the things you might see. This is the famous log cabin in Pontiac, very nice small town in Illinois. You're going along there's Merrimack Caverns, you'll see that. Litchfield, Illinois, there's a drive-in that's there, we have a duplicate of that. Springfield, Illinois, Cozy Dog, where the corn dog was invented.
Nice.
Spillway Lanes, Mike fabricates things, takes neon signs and duplicates it, and it ends up in the Chain of Rocks Bridge, which looks like that, and this was a model that I found, and Mike constructed it.
Mike created this.
Yeah, Mike can
done, Mike.
fabricate
Let me
anything.
just zoom back to show that entire. And I like how when I go along, like for example, as I'm driving down, two things, I say driving down because I'm on Route 66. Notice it says Missouri. And also if you look at the floor, you can see that it tells you where you're at on the route. How creative is that? So tell me about this area here.
Merrimack Caverns, famous place out in Missouri. The Arch, Old St. Louis, New St. Louis,
Oh, yeah.
Hooker's Cut, and here's another slide presentation that Mike created. Mike, tell them about that place.
Well, John used to have a bunch of like photo albums, old school things, and he wanted something that people could readily see, and so this is a digital photo frame that's now commercially available. I just transfer things digitally and put them right onto the frame, so it runs in a sequence from start to finish in the route.
That is a great idea.
Yeah.
And we've got Hooker's Cut here, as you shared.
Yes. And what happens now is you go into only the shortest part of Route 66 of the 8 states. Kansas is about 14 miles, and there's a bridge. That's a simulation of the bridge you would see in Kansas. And then you go to Oklahoma, which again is on the road, and it's marked on our road here, which is a beautiful Route 66 state. And there's a lot of miniature things that you would see in the state of Oklahoma along this. And on the back wall here, which we mentioned about my grandfather John T, you see autographed pictures to John Rue, which I inherited from Jimmy Durante, Bing Crosby, Morton Downey, Pat O'Brien. These are from my parents' era, but I inherited them, and he got signed autographs because that's how they came from LA to Chicago on the train. And this is 36 to 56.
Oh, that's great.
So some of the memorabilia that you might see in Oklahoma, here's the Round Barn, it's a famous spot.
Give me just a second to catch up to you,
Okay.
because I'm sitting back looking at your Dayliner and your Union Pacific
Yeah.
train as well.
Yeah, and the Daylight's another famous train that I liked a lot, and it's just a beautiful steam passenger train.
So here you were talking about that
Yeah, that's
Round Barn.
what you'd see on Route 66. Here's a picture of it, and here's a duplicate that Mike made.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
very cool.
Testimonial to Will Rogers, that's in Oklahoma. Here's a picture of what I gave to Mike. This is how he does it, of right on the border of Oklahoma and Texas, of a Phillips gas station, and Mike then duplicates it. All right?
It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
You know, the key is you got to find the guy who's got the talent, right?
exactly. He's got the talent.
He's got the talent.
Yeah,
But we've got Maxwell House back there.
yeah. Route 66 was a road of commerce. So you had a lot of neon and a lot of different ways to get people into your establishment. And these are some out of scale things, but this is an old Lionel piece.
Yeah, show me how that works.
That's a log loader. And it loads logs and then you dump them. It's normal detail. Yeah.
Into a hopper.
Yeah.
Show me how this fire department works.
All right, and then over here, this is Mike's train house, but this is an old firehouse with a lot of scale, but it's a really nice piece.
Bring the truck back in. Very cool. I see the guy going back up the pole.
Yeah, right. Beautiful artists and craftspeople that make this stuff. It's absolutely exquisite. And down below, this is a picture and a little section on the Little Nugget, John T's car. And it was a famous car. It's being restored. It's in Travel Town Museum in California, not too far from Pasadena. And so that's what it kind of looked like. And so we have a testimonial to it, a memorial to
We
it.
got his actual pins
Yeah.
and a little detail on a little
Yeah.
nugget there. And then here's more. There's another picture of him.
Yeah.
And then this is his hat.
No, it's a bank. It was a nice piece.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
actually a
okay.
bank.
But that's him right there.
Yes. That's John T. Rue.
Got it. And what do we have here?
Well, these, if your viewers want to go on 66, this is Jerry McCallahan's book, Easy Guide to 66. Very detailed, so any place you want to travel on 66, I'd recommend that book. And for Illinois, a book by John Weiss, who is the preservationist for the state of Illinois, has a very practical guide to travel, because you need guidebooks to do 66 today.
Very good.
Yeah.
Let's let's continue into the next room, shall we?
Yeah.
And you've got all this train memorabilia up on the walls here.
Yeah.
And I see that's actually like the train itself that runs down the track. And some of these fun pieces, that little Lionel train
Yeah,
goes
this
around.
is a 2-year-old's love this. It's actually an antique alarm clock. It's an alarm clock.
That is great.
Yeah.
And all of the vintage memorabilia.
Yeah.
And then share with me, let me have you step across over here. Share with me what you have here. We've got trains on the wall.
These are up there is the Allegheny and the Big Boy are the 2 largest steam engines ever made in the world. They would be comparison of like a Midwest deciduous tree to a redwood. They're that big. And this one happened to be donated to me by a guy by the name of Lou and Joe Constable.
Oh, great guys right there.
Yeah. So anyway,
That's
too big. It's too big to run on the layout.
And by the way, we've had so much fun with you, and you've been a great friend
Yeah.
over the years. So
Yeah,
it was
and this is
my
the
pleasure.
Chicago L. You wanna? We can show them how the L.
Yeah,
runs
show me
late.
the L. While we're getting the L ready, show me how this car wash works.
Yeah. This is another.
Maybe we can get both of these running at the same time.
I have a couple antique cars, and this is a 60. I have a 67 Mustang, and you're a car guy for your car guys, and this is like my 67.
Hi, may I help you?
Yes, I'll have the deluxe.
Okay, one more. Thank you. Let's go forward.
That's great. Used car wash. Here comes the car coming to the wash.
Just grinding them off right now.
Nice. That's great. Little wipe down. And the used cars, they're all done.
And these are pictures of Chicago L. This is how Chicago grew. 1892, went to the Columbian Exposition. And today, behind it, you can run it later, but you have a duplicate of the Brown line, which has the same sound system that you get on the Brown line.
Let's hear that.
You want to run it now?
Yeah.
Okay.
That is great. And the people on the platform. That's absolutely great. The elevated up there. More memorabilia.
Yeah.
Let's take a look. We've got, what do we have here on this wall?
Well, for your car guys, tomorrow at Illinois Railroad Museum, the largest outdoor railroad museum in the United States, are having the Transit Extravaganza. So they have a lot of old cars, but they also have the 4391 Green Hornet. It's called the Green Hornet, the only one left. I believe the only one left in the United States, and it's there, and and they run it, and they'll run it tomorrow. It's a, you know, followed the cable cars. They replaced streetcars, replaced cable cars, and then buses replaced them. So it's a nice, really nice piece. This is pre-war stuff here.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's go into the next room. So now we've got more of Route 66.
Yeah,
Texas.
New Mexico, Arizona, and California, the other 4 states.
All right.
This happens to be our yard. This happens to be our furnace. But Mike made it into Texas oil. So,
Nice.
has the big Texaco sign and
Yeah.
pop cans that, you know, look, you know, he simulated everything.
Yeah.
You want to say anything about that, Mike?
Well, John said he wanted a bunch of tanks and things, and I said, hey, I was drinking a Coke one day. I said, that looks like a great tank. So
That does look like
it's
a
gonna
great
go with
tank.
that. So it just kind of happenstance.
Yeah. Now, when you leave Oklahoma, you go into the Panhandle in Texas. Flat as a pancake. And over here, I'll light it up for you. It's a big, you can't really see it that way,
Right.
but big Texas. It's a 72-ounce steak in Amarillo. You eat it in an hour, you don't pay for it. Okay? You also have Britain, USA, what they call the largest across the United States, which isn't, but anyway, Texas ever since the biggest. And over in the corner is the Cadillac Ranch. It's famous, and it's an art exhibit, and he painted those Cadillacs, and he used to send me a Christmas card every year before he passed. And then when you leave Texas, you enter into New Mexico, and this is our least developed state, but what we do have developed quite nice is Santa Fe. So you either go through Albuquerque or you go through Santa Fe, and if you go up through Santa Fe, you got the big cut that you can go see that. It's a very treacherous road.
Nice.
And it goes, and then when you're leaving Albuquerque, at night, it's very dark, and you see this real gaudy sign, and you wonder what it is. Well, it's a casino. So we found this piece of neon, and Mike fabricated it to be like the one you'd see in New Mexico. You leave New Mexico, and you enter one of the painted desert and the petrified forest. Absolutely spectacular. Hasn't changed in hundreds of years, and in it is right next to it is the Grand Canyon. Now the Grand Canyon, planes flying over the Grand Canyon.
Flying over the Grand Canyon. How cool is that?
And from the Indian Watchtower, which was done by Mary Coulter, a famous female architect in the early 1900s, you can see the Ponderosa Pine, you can see the Grand Canyon, and you can see the painted desert, which is absolutely spectacular.
I like the painted desert.
No.
That's cool.
Mary Coulter also did La Posada Hotel. This actually lights up at night. La Posada was her masterpiece, restored by an entrepreneur. A great place to stay, and that's standing on the corner in Winslow, Arizona, is the La Posada Hotel, and that was her masterpiece. You're going along here in Seligman. This is the guy that renovated the Route 66 a number of years ago. His little, you go into Kingman, you end up in Hackberry. These are small towns along Route 66, and you can come from the back way to the Grand Canyon here. And then you have another feature that Mike could talk about. This is one of the unique features of the layout. You want to tell him about this, Mike?
Yeah, well, John wanted to have a running river in the layout, and that was quite a challenge to do that when all the electrical stuff is underfoot. So I found some plastic troughing to use as the riverbed itself, and just cut a notch through it and ran it through there. There's actually a filter system inside that filters out any debris from the water when it goes back through the fountain pump that I'm using, and it pumps it back through the Hoover Dam.
Nice. The Hoover Dam is working. Very creative.
This Grapes of Wrath Bridge is still there. It's not functional, but this is how you go from Arizona to California, and this is the Mojave Desert, which is just barren. Very beautiful in the morning, very almost a spiritual experience driving in the morning, but there's not much out there until you get to around Victorville and San Bernardino, and Roy Rogers and Dale Evans are buried there. And what we did is put the testimonials to the hotels that are, that have seen their day. LA, Hollywood, and you end or begin, depending on which way you're going, at Santa Monica Pier. And so this is just a gift recently. I just put that there today. And so,
Nice.
Okay. Up here you have some places you can stay at, like the wigwams are in Holbrook and they're also in California. You can actually stay in the wigwams. San Bernardino has the original McDonald's. The original McDonald's was not in Illinois, it's San Bernardino. I pointed out Seligman, that's where the snow cap is. Palace Theater and replicas.
Does that make snow cones too?
I don't know if they make snow cones. I guess so, yeah.
All right.
Union Station, Neoclassic Hall, train station, the one in Chicago. They're throughout the United States, but that's our model of it.
And John, let's go back to the trains and get our kicks, well, on Route 66. the end of your layout and we're getting a chance to talk to you, what's the end game for you at this layout? What would you like to see happen with it?
What I'd like to do, the ideal would be to gift it to a significant museum, number one. Number two, find a city on Route 66 that would see it as a major tourist attraction. Or three, find a private party that maybe like Mark Malnati, that owns Malnati, or a restaurant chain, or somebody that's in a major city on Route 66 that could see it could really transform their business. That would be the ideal, because it's a beautiful, it's the fully detailed 8-state Route 66 exhibit of its kind in the world, and it'd be nice to have it in a public place.
So you just want to keep the legacy going?
Yeah, it started here, but that's what I'd like to do with it.
That sounds great. John, thanks so much for being a great host. Thanks for being with us and sharing your train layout.
Yeah.